Hello everyone! In this video, join us as a young man begins to build a log house deep in the woods. With nothing more than simple hand tools and natural materials gathered from the surrounding environment, he begins to shape his dream home from the ground up. Watch closely as he transforms raw elements into a beautiful and functional forest retreat, all by hand. This is not just a construction project. It's a story of resilience, harmony with the wild, and the art of living simply yet meaningfully. After carefully preparing the construction site, he set off into the forest to cut down sturdy wooden beams. One by one, he brought them back and stripped off the bark by hand, revealing the smooth wood beneath. These beams would soon become the foundation for the wooden house frame he was about to build. With the wooden beams now prepared, he began the next crucial step, planting the vertical posts into the ground. Carefully measuring and spacing each one, he dug deep holes to ensure stability, then firmly anchored the beams into the earth. These upright posts would serve as the main structural pillars of the house, forming the essential framework that would support the entire building. With precision and patience, he laid the groundwork for what would soon rise into a sturdy wooden home, shaped entirely by his own hands. At the spot he had carefully chosen for the entrance, he also installed additional support posts. These would hold up the front porch roof. With the vertical support posts firmly in place, he turned his attention to building the lower frame of the house, the crucial foundation that would support everything above it. He started by connecting horizontal beams at the base of the posts, working carefully to ensure each piece was aligned and level. Before fitting them together, he skillfully carved mortise and tenon joints into both the upright posts and the horizontal beams. As each beam was joined to the next, the shape of the floor frame slowly came into view. The structure began to look more defined, with each connection reinforcing the next. It was a foundational step, one that required patience, precision, and a deep understanding of how wood behaves. Next, he moved on to the upper part of the structure. Just as he had done at the base, he began connecting horizontal beams across the tops of the vertical posts. With each beam carefully measured, shaped, and notched, he ensured a snug fit onto the top ends of the posts, locking them firmly into place. These top beams played a crucial role in completing the wall frame. They not only held the vertical supports together, but also laid the foundation for the roof structure that would come later. As the beams were secured one by one, the skeletal outline of the house became more apparent. The frame, once just a collection of individual posts, was now unified, a sturdy wooden structure rising from the forest floor. With the upper connections in place, the wall frame stood tall and strong. forming a rectangular box that hinted at the home's final shape. With the wall frame now complete, he moved on to the next and most defining feature of the house, the roof structure. Starting with the central section of the house, he carefully constructed a triangular frame, securing it firmly at the midpoint of the top beams. This triangular form would serve as the main roof truss, creating the peak of the structure and providing essential support for the sloping sides of the roof. Once the triangular frame was in place, he began attaching long wooden beams from the pointed apex down toward the top edges of the wall frame. Each beam was positioned with precision, forming the sloped sides of the roof and giving it a strong, pyramidal shape that would allow rainwater to run off naturally. This steep peak design was both practical and visually striking, echoing traditional techniques used in rustic forest dwellings. With the main pyramid-shaped roof frame completed, he then extended the structure outward, building additional sloped beams over the front of the house to form a protective overhang for the porch. This extension not only sheltered the entrance from sun and rain, but also added a welcoming open feel to the front of the home. Piece by piece, the roof took shape, a handcrafted canopy rising gracefully over the forest clearing, uniting function with beauty. With the wooden frame of the house now standing, he turned his focus to building a solid foundation beneath the floor. Once the trench was ready, he ventured into the forest to collect stones, selecting ones that were flat, sturdy, and just the right size to stack. Returning with each bundle, he began carefully placing the stones along the trench, stacking them by hand with thoughtful precision. He layered the stones slowly, making sure they locked together naturally without the need for mortar. To strengthen the structure and seal the gaps between the stones, he gathered soft forest moss and pressed it into the crevices. The moss not only acted as a natural filler, preventing wind or moisture from slipping through, but it also gave the wall a rustic and earthy appearance, as if it had always been a part of the landscape. Bit by bit, the stone foundation rose in height, layer upon layer, until it reached the horizontal beams he had previously secured at the base of the posts. This handmade stone wall, simple yet strong, now formed the lower boundary of the house, a sturdy base upon which the wooden floor would soon rest. It was a blend of stone, wood, and moss, shaped entirely by hand and deeply rooted in the natural world around him. O raised the level of the floor and created a more solid, insulated foundation. He began filling the inside with layers of stone. Once the base layer of stone was complete, he began adding soil, hauling it in from nearby and spreading it evenly over the rocks. He packed it down tightly, layer by layer, using simple tools and his own strength to compact the earth. On top of the compacted stone and soil base, he applied a layer of natural clay mud, using it as a binding agent to hold everything firmly together. Then he began meticulously placing flat stones over the mud, covering the entire surface like a natural mosaic. Each stone was carefully positioned to fit snugly against its neighbors, creating a durable and visually appealing stone floor. This stone layer not only added strength and stability to the floor, but also gave it a rustic, handcrafted charm, a perfect blend of function and natural beauty underfoot. Nearby the house, he crafted a simple wooden table and chair set from freshly cut timber. With careful hands and basic tools, he assembled each piece, focusing on sturdy construction and clean, straightforward design. This humble set became the perfect spot to rest and unwind after a day's hard work, offering a quiet place to sit, reflect, and enjoy the peaceful surroundings of the forest. In one quiet corner of the house, he began constructing a functional stone stove, knowing it would soon become the heart of his home's daily life. The process started at the very bottom, where he carefully stacked stones to form a spacious firewood storage compartment. This open space was designed with practicality in mind, a dry, organized nook to keep logs neatly piled and ready for use, protected from dampness and the elements. Above this base, he meticulously arranged stones to build the firebox itself, the enclosed chamber, where flames would dance and food would be cooked. Each stone was placed thoughtfully, ensuring the firebox was both sturdy and well insulated to hold heat efficiently. He shaped the space to allow for proper airflow, so the fire could burn hot and steady, providing warmth and sustenance. Understanding the importance of safety and smoke ventilation, he then constructed a tall chimney rising up from the firebox and piercing through the roof. This chimney was built deliberately high, extending well above the peak of the roof to ensure smoke would be drawn away from the living space and dispersed safely into the open air. The height also helped create a strong draft, keeping the fire burning cleanly and efficiently. As he worked stone by stone, the stove took form, a solid, rustic centerpiece blending seamlessly with the natural materials of the house. For the walls of the house, he chose a traditional yet effective technique, stacking wooden beams horizontally, one on top of another, to build up the structure layer by layer. Each beam was carefully selected and cut to fit perfectly within the designated space, ensuring a snug and stable fit. To seal the gaps between the logs and keep the interior protected from drafts, moisture, and insects, he packed thick layers of soft forest moss into the spaces between each beam. This natural insulation not only helped maintain a comfortable temperature inside, but also blended harmoniously with the rustic wooden frame. Before assembling each section of the wall, he meticulously prepared the wooden beams, sizing and shaping them according to the exact measurements required for that part of the house. This attention to detail guaranteed that every piece fit precisely, creating strong, airtight walls that would stand firm against the elements. The combination of carefully stacked wood and the moss filling resulted in a warm, solid, and beautifully natural wall, a perfect balance of craftsmanship and the raw materials gifted by the forest. At the location of the kitchen wall, he used stone to build, helping to insulate that part of the wall to prevent fire. As he continued building the remaining sections of the walls, he thoughtfully left openings for windows and the main entrance, carefully planning their exact positions to balance light, ventilation, and accessibility. These spaces weren't just simple gaps. He integrated sturdy wooden frames directly into the wall structure to define each window and doorway with precision and strength. This careful integration created clean, well-defined window and door spaces that would later be fitted with shutters or doors, enhancing both the functionality and aesthetic appeal of the home. With these thoughtful details, the house began to take on a truly livable form, open to the natural surroundings, yet protected and cozy within. On top of the roof frame, he carefully laid down horizontal wooden beams, positioning them closely side by side to cover and enclose the entire roof structure. These closely spaced beams created a solid, protective layer that would support the roofing material and shield the house from rain and wind. By securing these beams tightly together, he ensured the roof was strong, stable, and well prepared to withstand the elements, completing the basic shelter overhead with skillful craftsmanship. For the chimney, he reinforced the stone structure by carefully stacking additional stones to build it taller, extending well above the roof line. On top of the wooden roof frame, he carefully stretched a layer of nylon sheeting, covering the entire structure to create a waterproof barrier. This protective layer was essential to keep rain and moisture from seeping into the wood below, ensuring the house would stay dry and durable through all kinds of weather. Over the nylon, he then spread a thick coating of fresh green moss, pressing it gently to form a natural insulating roof covering. This final layer of moss not only added extra protection against the elements, but also helped the house blend seamlessly into its forest surroundings, giving the roof a soft, earthy appearance that seemed to grow right out of the landscape. For the empty window openings, he began crafting sturdy wooden frames to serve as the window shutters. Each frame was carefully measured and built to fit perfectly within the window spaces, ensuring a smooth fit that would allow them to open and close effortlessly. With skilled hands, he worked on creating hinges and joints that not only made the shutters functional but also added a touch of elegance to the overall design. These window frames were crafted with attention to detail, featuring clean lines and a balanced shape that complemented the rustic charm of the house. In this way, the windows became more than just openings. They transformed into beautiful, practical elements that enhanced both the look and livability of the home. Interestingly, the two window frames were designed with different opening mechanisms, adding variety and character to the overall structure. This thoughtful variation not only enhanced the functionality of the windows, but also introduced an element of architectural interest, making the house's design more dynamic and unique. At the point where the roof meets the main door frame, he carefully added additional wooden beams to reinforce and close the gap between the two structures. To ensure a tight seal and prevent drafts or moisture from entering, he packed layers of soft moss into the spaces between the beams and the frame. This combination of wood and moss created a natural, effective barrier that not only strengthened the connection, but also maintained the seamless, rustic aesthetic of the house's design. At the main entrance, he began crafting the door with careful attention to both function and durability. His first task was to create sturdy, reliable hinges. Using simple, carefully shaped pieces of wood, he crafted a hinge system strong enough to support the weight of the door while still allowing it to open and close smoothly. With the hinges firmly attached, he moved on to assembling the door frame itself. Each wooden beam was cut and shaped with precision, then joined together to form a strong rectangular frame that fits snugly within the entrance. Next, he focused on filling the frame by attaching a series of vertical wooden slats. By securing each slat firmly in place, he created a dense, solid surface that would effectively block out wind, rain. The close placement of the slats not only ensured security, but also gave the door a clean, orderly appearance that complemented the rustic charm of the house. Finally, he turned his attention to the locking mechanism. Using simple but effective materials, he fashioned a lock and latch system designed to keep the door securely closed when needed. Recognizing the need for a proper entryway into the raised house, he carefully dismantled the table and chairs, clearing the area to prepare for a more essential structure, a staircase. With the space now open, he began constructing a sturdy wooden staircase leading up to the front of the house. Each step was carefully measured and cut from thick wooden beams, then securely fastened to ensure stability and safety. The angle of the stairs was thoughtfully planned to provide a comfortable incline, making it easy to walk up and down while also fitting naturally into the surrounding landscape. After finishing the staircase, he turned his attention to adding safety and finishing touches to the exterior of the house. Around the front porch area, he began constructing a wooden railing to frame the edge of the platform. Using carefully selected wooden beams, he built a series of vertical posts evenly spaced along the perimeter, then added horizontal handrails to complete the structure. This not only provided a protective barrier, but also gave the porch a more defined and welcoming appearance. This handrail offered both safety and comfort for anyone climbing up or down the stairs, while also enhancing the overall look of the entryway. The railing around the porch and the stair handrail gave the house a more finished and thoughtful design, adding charm, practicality, and a touch of elegance to the rustic wooden home nestled in the heart of the forest. To complete the window frames, he added a final touch that balanced practicality with simplicity. He covered the open spaces with sheets of transparent plastic. With the windows now fully enclosed, the house felt more protected and comfortable, bringing it one step closer to becoming a cozy, livable home in the heart of the forest. He didn't forget to furnish the interior of his forest home, adding the finishing touches that would transform the space from a simple shelter into a warm and livable dwelling. He built a sturdy wooden table along with a matching chair, creating a comfortable place to sit, eat, and work. Each piece is handcrafted from natural wood, blending perfectly with the rustic charm of the home. Just as essential was the addition of a wooden bed. Using thick beams for the frame and strong supports for the base, he constructed a simple yet durable bed that offered a cozy place to rest after a long day of building. With the table, chairs, and bed in place, the house now truly felt like a home. Finally, he covered the surrounding ground with soft green moss and planted additional trees and plants around the house, completing his project with a touch of nature and harmony. With that, his forest house was finally complete, simple, natural, and built entirely by his own hands. Thank you for watching the video to the end. If you like it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. Goodbye and see you again.